Hi everybody, this is Alchemist 2 and I'm back again with another movie review. Once Upon a Time in Arkansas. That's how this one should begin, actually. This movie is called Mud. It stars Matthew McConaughey, and he's the only actor that I actually recognized. I didn't really recognize anybody else. I think the former governor of Tennessee was in it. He played King, I do believe. I don't know the name of the man, but I thought, yeah, he looks familiar. I think I know him. How odd, but this is a movie about human psychology, at least in my estimate and in my father's estimate was what we concurred upon. And it's very intriguing to see how the different characters interact with each other and the power of the human word and how trustworthy people actually are, males versus females, are the common wheel here of what society believes, how men and women act in a social setting, commingling with each other. It's not always true, it's not always the case, but this is just a generalization of Arkansasian society, and I like the cinematography is absolutely beautiful. The music suits it. It's very country western. Um, the only song that was rather rock and roll was the Beach Boys, "Help Me Rhonda," which actually reminds me of my mother because my mom loved the Beach Boys, so it gave me a really good feeling. But in this case, it's really funny. I'm not gonna say why, but relationship is the biggest key here in this film, and that of helping a man out in his greatest need, and then they discover the truth about him from Tom Blankenship, who's this sniper. He was in the Marines, I think. It was either the Marines or the Army. I can't recall what they said in the film, but he was just trying to do the best for Mud's sake. And of course, you have the two main characters, Neckbone and Ellis. And Neckbone is actually more intelligent than Ellis is. Ellis is your typical optimist, and he wants to believe in the best of everybody, and he gets his heart broken quite a few times in the movie. Um, and I can relate to Ellis because I'm a little bit naive. I mean, I'm not so naive as I used to be, but he's blatantly and obliviously naive, and he wants to see everything work out. He just the mechanism of his world is, since everything is not balanced, he wants to put it back into balance, and he's he's kind of impulsive too. He's a very interesting character. And then you've got Neckbone. Neckbone is just more of a street smart kid, and I mean in the sense of he wasn't really born in the streets, but he's just got a lot of savvy, and there's a reason why this is. And you learn about Galen, and you think at first that Galen's his dad, and no, it's his uncle. And it's very fascinating how their relationship really works, and just everybody's relationship is really complicated in this film. And I absolutely loved it. I thought that it was really unique and rare, and I highly recommend it. This is just a nice little look into psychology of the human mind, and the dynamics of human relationships. I think, I don't know if I'm right about this or not, but that's my opinion on the film. And Matthew McConaughey is almost unrecognizable in this movie. He plays a character who tells tall tales, and he's I'm not gonna say what is his issue, because later on you kind of think that this is going to happen anyway, because the mechanism of the plot makes it very clear that Mud isn't what he seems, and it's all very interesting that Ellis he does not want to leave Mud in the lurch. He wants to help him as best as he can, particularly with Juniper, and it's about that love that they have together, and Mud not wanting to let go of it. And there's also that theme of the river, and the river is an allegorical kind of symbol, because I think I can't remember if it's Galen who says this particular one-liner. It's just really profound. Yeah, it was Galen when Ellis and he are just talking about what it's like to be a man and how to treat a woman and everything. And he says, Ellis, look up at the ceiling, and he does, and he says, I found that in the river, and sometimes the river brings treasures, and sometimes it just brings junk. Sometimes you have to know what to keep and what to let go of. And I thought, whoa, and that's, it's a really deep lesson, and there were a lot of lessons like that in this movie, and it's really just sensational. As far as I'm concerned, I think it's a gem, and it's just so different from anything else. It follows a set pattern, and there are some twists and turns along the way that you don't see coming, but a lot of things you predict just because you think, well, this character has integrity, so therefore he'll do this, so it follows logic. And the kids, they're kids, and they're inquisitive, and they act just like young boys do, and they're very likable characters, especially Mud, I think. Mud is just a troubled character that you feel sorry for him, and it also proves in the film that anger serves absolutely no purpose whatsoever. So that's another sensational lesson to take from this movie as a whole. And I have to say that I'm going to be very proud to have this in my collection, just because it's that good. And if you haven't seen it yet, if you like Matthew McConaughey, and Matthew McConaughey is another one of these guys, and rarely, if ever, does he choose a film that's quote-unquote bad. He actually made Failure Launch, which is actually one of my ultimate rom-com faves. I don't really watch rom-coms that much, but of the ones I do like, Failure to Launch is one of them. And the reason being is he made that movie what it is. And I say that because he was just such a exceptional, extraordinary actor in that, and he made it funny and likable, and for the ornithologist it was perfect, because you had a little bit of birding in it, and it made my day. This movie is all about connection as well, and how people are connected one to another, and how we can't live without each other because we have to survive. Even though our lives may change day to day, we need each other in order to subsist. And I think that's another ongoing theme of the film, other than the Mississippi, which is the grand symbol or allegorical mechanism in this movie that ties everything together. And it's just a lot like Mark Twain and The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. It just reminded me of that so much. If you've read it, then you understand exactly where I'm coming from. You thought, yeah, this is kind of like a modern day Adventures of Huck Finn in a way, kind of, but it's a little bit different. It's just a really sensational, outstanding film, and my rating is 2 thumbs way up and 5 stars hands down. It's just a glorious film, and it has a bittersweet ending in a way. It's a happy ending in a manner of speaking, and if you see it, you understand why I deem it as such. I'm not really sure. I'm going to do a quick update here, but I'm at my halfway point. Let's see. Tomorrow and Friday, I'm going to be going up to my internship, and then the 29th will be my last day. I still have to take my CCT. I really heard anything from my instructor about that. I really want to get that out of the way so I could go forward. I'm going to see if I can talk to him about vascular ultrasound because I feel like I'm being called toward that field. It's more of the same in the cardiological purview, but I just feel like I'm being magnetized to it. So there's got to be a reason for that. And yesterday I used some of my knowledge. I had a coworker who she looked pale and her hands were cold, or her forehead was cold, and I could see she was pallid. And I felt her wrist, and I thought, oh, your pulse is high. So I'm hoping that she sees somebody about that rapidly, because that high pulse rate did not sit well with me. Maybe I saved her life. I hope I did. I just pray that she's going to be fine. I'm still a bit concerned about her. She's diabetic. Yeah, that's when you start really getting worried about people, and because they start losing their sense. The body starts not really working the way you want it to work. If you do one thing wrong, then everything else can start leading to entropy, which is not a good situation. But needless to say, I am working on the continuation of 12 Lights, called Lights Continue to Shine. I'm writing a script called Uncommon Magic. I was going to work on a script called Variety Show. I kind of put that on the back burner for a little bit. When Halloween starts coming, I'm going to go back to Chiquita Banana Goes Bananas, because I really want to get into that again. And I got a story about a monster hunter, kind of like Van Helsing, but different. He falls in love with a character who has to feed off of energy, and this particular one, she dies later, sadly. All she needed to break her curse was somebody to love her unconditionally, which he did, and then she just passed away. In this next chapter, he falls for a voodoo priestess, so that'll be interesting. I'm going to be writing about a djinn, and djinns are actually different than genies, so he's gonna fall for a female human character. I got that whole idea from I don't know, I'd been going online and looking for a game that I just couldn't think of the name of it, and then I realized, oh, this is the obscure classic called Karnov. Yeah, so I got inspired by that, which comes from way back in my childhood. And I'll be writing another story called The Gaijin Summer Camp Shenanigans. That was my crossover fanfic. Camp Lake Bottom and Gravity Falls, believe it or not, they work very well together when you write them. Other than that, I'm not sure too much else I'm going to be doing. But I'm going to be seeing Mortal Instruments today, so I will be doing a review of that later. So stay tuned, everybody. Bye!